I need to be able to check the comments. So I'm checking to check for the comments, wherever that may be. Hang tight, people. Hang tight. I mean, YouTube does not make it easy to run a live stream while checking your own comments. Because the mobile app on my iPhone doesn't have comment. I mean, I can't easily reply to them or see them. So I have to literally go to it and open up another window. On my iPhone, it doesn't have comment. I mean, I can't easily reply. All right. I can see comments now. Hey, Tsunami. Shout out. You came from IG. I love it. Appreciate that. I'll just wait until somebody asks about the 15th spot, and then we'll talk about it. Check out what they're doing down there. I guess maybe there's a concert coming. I don't know. Let me type in something. Hello, Dub Nation. Okay. Oh yeah. So what about how long can media stay in the arena? Let me hit that one real quick. How long can media stay after the game? Pretty long, I think. I've stayed like till midnight. I've stayed beyond midnight. I mean, as long as you're working. 15th spot. So the Warriors are going to keep that 15th spot open. They waived Mulder, they waived Jordan Bell, they waived Avery Bradley and Gary Payton after the game. But then they actually also signed Axell Tupan. Remember him? He went to the Milwaukee Bucks last season and won a championship. He was picked up by them, I think, on a two-way. And the Warriors were unable to do the two-way because we already had Nico and Juan, and we converted Juan on the last day of the season. So Axell Tupan, man, he was a beast in the bubble in G League. So I'm really happy to hear that he's coming back to the Warriors, and I think it's probably for the Santa Cruz Warriors. Probably an Exhibit 10 contract, in which case they would actually like waive him tomorrow. Then he would have to clear waivers by Monday, which is still before opening night, which is fine. Hello from India. And then he would get a bonus to go join the Santa Cruz Warriors. We're going to have a pretty tough Santa Cruz Warriors squad if you consider Jonathan Kuminga will go there for a couple games. Moses Moody. Oh, thanks for tuning in from Ukraine. That's pretty awesome. I just love how global YouTube is. When I come to check, can I have my vaccination? Or there's an app for that. So before I move on from Axell Tupan, what else was I going to say? Oh, yeah, Santa Cruz Warriors, man. Chris Head. Oh, appreciate you, Chris. Where are you, man? Hit me up on Instagram. Let me know what you're doing. Actually, I should keep track of just where you are. I haven't checked Instagram all that much lately, just being too busy and filming the team all this time. So I think the Warriors, the Santa Cruz Warriors, they're going to be real tough. Moses Moody has been playing really well, so maybe maybe he doesn't spend as much time there, but then maybe he does. We'll just have to see how it plays out. And as far as coming to Chase, I think they want you to use the Clear app to do your vaccination status. Wow, we got people from Africa, China. It's awesome. Welcome. So you use the Clear app, and I don't know if you can see it, but it has it's the same Clear as like the airport Clear company. And it has well, just look it up, because it's on there. If you search Clear app, you'll find it. Let me catch up to some of these. When Klay will be back, I think originally they were hoping the Christmas game, but then even Klay I think it was on Media Day, he was saying December, January. I haven't actually added up all the months, but he was saying on Media Day that it's usually 12 months after you get the surgery, I think. I could have that wrong. My bad if I do, but that would kind of put it in January, is what he was alluding to. I think we gotta just assume it's January. December would be great. The Christmas game would be great, like Bob Myers had originally kind of said. I think one of the beat writers broke the news of that. I can't quite remember, but we're all looking at December, January, probably January, just to be safe. But the good news is that Klay is now cleared to do full practices. And I checked with somebody in the Warriors, and they said that, yeah, that means 5-on-5 scrimmages. So that's pretty cool. He gets to play in scrimmages. So that answered the Klay thing. Chances of Mulder coming back, I think the chances are really good in terms of the two-way spot, because he's earned it, honestly. I think he's earned it. Like, even today after the game, Steve Kerr was like, all of these guys are NBA players. I mean, he was even complimenting Jordan Bell in that regard. So, uplifting all of those guys, the opposite of throwing people under the bus when you say something. So he was praising all of them at the same time. And he does think that all of them should be playing on some NBA team. I think he's right. I think Jordan Bell can maybe find a spot somewhere. He is not eligible for a two-way because he's played too many seasons in the NBA. Same with Gary Payton. But the only guy who was cut tonight that qualifies for a two-way still is Michael Mulder. And so I think he has a good chance for that. All right. How you make those where you block the copyright song? It's complicated. It's hard. It's hard to navigate the YouTube music copyright issues. But we're able to do it. Gotten good enough at that. Wow, how did I become an insider? I almost think that deserves another video. But if we run out of things to talk about, I can get into that. We need good centers. That's a good argument. I don't know. I watched the loss to the Lakers, basically the Lakers play-in game last season, and then our loss to the Grizzlies. And remember, the Lakers had Andre Drummond, and then the Grizzlies had Jonas Valanciunas. And we almost won both games. I just watched those games, and just for those moments, those small moments in the game, Drummond was actually not that much of a factor. And even Mark Jackson on the air was saying, if their strategy was to post up Drummond all day, the Lakers were going to lose that game. And of course, LeBron hit that amazing shot over Steph to win the game. And then against the Memphis Grizzlies, we managed to get JV in foul trouble. And so look, I mean, the NBA is changing very quickly, and I really do think that we can get by without a big boy like that. Now, push comes to shove, February timeframe, January timeframe. I think we could call up Marc Gasol and say, "Hey, oh, come and play for us again, man. Get out of retirement, come here." But I just think the NBA is moving at such a quick pace that the traditional five, if you've got a defender like Draymond, as well as Looney, who just play bigger than they are, they're different, right? Most teams don't have a Draymond. Most teams don't have a Looney, and I think we're blessed to have guys like that who can make it difficult for bigger guys. Whereas 29 other teams, they have to go out and get a big man because they don't have a Draymond and they don't have a Looney. Today, I was watching just for a quick moment. I watched the whole game or 90% of it. And there was a point where Nurkic was posting up on Draymond and they wouldn't feed it into him. I mean, Draymond did a good enough job. I mean, we have Draymond, so defensively, we're kind of good if you think about it in terms of having the big center. So I went on a long rant there to answer Vic Wong's question, which is a valid question. We need good centers, but also we'll get Wiseman back, right? And Wiseman, man, he's going to be the face of the franchise in a few years, man. Him and Kuminga and Moody probably, even while Steph is like almost hitting, 37 years old by then. Anyways, love from the Philippines. Always love the Philippines. I have so many friends and family, actually, that's Filipino. So don't know if you knew that. I'm of Chinese heritage, but I was born in America. I was actually born in Cleveland, of all places. So me, Steph, and LeBron are all from the Cleveland area. I mean, they're from Akron. Anyways, little trivia there. When is Wiseman coming back? Well, we know this. He's cleared to do more things at practice. I don't have the details on what exactly, but he's reached the next milestone, and I think he's coming back. He'll be back before Klay, I believe. Sorry, I don't have more on that. I wish I did, but anyways, a meniscus is certainly not as bad as an Achilles tear. When do I think Wiseman will be back? I'm gonna say, how about after the first month. So we start the season mid-October, so mid-November, but I could be wrong. Release Juan? That's ridiculous. Juan is freaking awesome. Do you expect the Warriors to run a lot of small ball this year? They already run a lot of small ball. In fact, their whole offense is small ball, but they have something that other teams don't have. One, Stephen Curry. Two, don't forget, Draymond Green. And I literally asked that question to Steve while in Los Angeles a few days ago. I asked him, my question to him, which is actually on our YouTube channel, but you have to find it in the Steve Kerr interview. I said, "Hey Steve, Bielitsa has gone up on the podium twice now," and he said, "Man, this offense is so simple. I love it." And I'm like, Steve, what makes it so simple? Why does he say it's simple? Because, I mean, is it really that simple? And how does that compare to other teams? He wouldn't talk about other teams, but he said, it is simple. We only have 4 or 5 sets. And by the way, tonight, little bit of tidbit of an information, I saw Steph. I mean, I saw Steve doing some hand signals. We've seen head tap is post up Wiggins. And then he did a double fist like this, and with two fists. I'm holding the iPhone up, but the double fist bump. I think that means post up Draymond. Actually, we'll see. We'll see if that's the case. We got an 8-game homestand coming up where I can watch Steve do the hand signals. I did see Mike Brown do a double fist, which is a 3-2 zone. All right, so the offense is just read and react, and I'm going to do a video on that pretty soon because I saw something today pregame, and I also saw something last Monday in Portland, which I have saved up and haven't posted on the channel yet. But the offense is really this whole read and react shell game, if you will. I asked around some trainers, and I think it was Wiggins' trainer called it like a shell game. One of the Warriors coaches told me they just call it group work. But anyways, it's basically read and react plus throw in a little Steph and Draymond. And that's what Steve told me was the offense, is they run 4 or 5 sets, 2 of which we now know are Wiggins post up and Draymond post up. Or maybe, but they're both post up depending on who's in the game. So maybe there's 4 sets that are read and react type. And he just said that the difference is Steph can improvise and so can Draymond. So I'll post that later. So that's small ball. In my book, that's small ball because there's really no posting up Wiseman. Now, when Wiseman comes back, then maybe they'll add that and some pick and roll. Release Juan, bring back Bradley. Wow, I strongly disagree. Juan, you need wings like Juan who can play defense and run the system. To me, Juan is kind of like YouTube had to hold the WTF. Juan is this, that, which I just released. A comment that was in favor of Juan but had the acronym WTF in it. I don't know, guys. Can we stop using that? What do you guys think? I just think you don't say what the F to people in real life. So why would you say that in a comment? Even though it was in favor of Juan. But anyways, I'm going off on a tangent there. I do think Juan, I do agree, Juan is like a soul to the Warriors. But I don't think Bradley is ass. He may be getting older. He may not be hitting threes, but he is hitting his jumpers, which one he hit in LA against the Lakers. And when he hit that dribble stop and pop, I was thinking, you know what? Gary Payton doesn't have that in his game. So at least AB was able to make 2 points out of it. Gary Payton wouldn't have been able to score at all on that one. Just my 2 cents on that. I remember your lives last week. You said you could. Oh, yeah. Thank you, Tsunami. Yeah. This year is getting better in terms of going on the road. I did make a mistake, though. I might have to go to LA early on Monday, which means I'll miss practice here at Chase Center, because they used to go to LA early and just stay at Beverly Hills and practice at UCLA, but maybe they're not able to practice at UCLA anymore. Maybe just, I don't know why they changed it, but they changed it. So that screwed me up a little bit, but I don't know. I don't think I can change my rental car situation. And whenever you go to LA, you kind of got to rent a car, because the Uber situation from LAX sucks and public transportation sucks. Okay. Ooh, James Ennis, 15th spot. I mean, I have Laker fans as friends that wanted James Ennis on the Lakers. I don't know. Let's just see what happens, because anybody they sign, like, triple it because there's luxury tax, right? That's how much it would cost. JP3 is a $20 million player. Oh my God. That's a good problem to have, though, right? If it comes down to a point where we got to maybe pay him $20 million, I say we pay him, because we have this building right here that can pay all the bills. And that was the whole plan of Joe Lacob, guys. The whole plan was to get into this golden goose right here, that we could have a concert tomorrow, which is like what they're making all that noise down there for, and just pay luxury tax up the wazoo, right? At least that's my theory. But yeah, if you're talking about JP being a $20 million player, that's a good problem to have. We want that. And then, again, I also say that money isn't really an issue for this squad, which really gives the Warriors a competitive advantage over most other teams, right? That was the whole plan of Joe Lacob anyways. I mean, he's a venture capitalist. That's what he does for a living, is to find unfair competitive advantages. And Chase Center is one of those things. Do I work for the Warriors? No. I got to find my own revenue. Guess we are keeping the 15 slot open. Yeah. You never know what injuries are going to happen. Knock on wood, and God forbid. But you also don't know how the NBA is going to evolve. So that's one of my things is that I've said before is what if the Lakers go undefeated for the whole month of October and November, right? Then you're like, crap, we got to get us a 5 that can handle DeAndre and Dwight. What if they change the NBA that way? I don't think that'll happen, but you never know. That's why all the clips are amazing. Oh, thanks, Jeremiah. Appreciate you, man. Any thoughts on Wiseman as a pick and popper? I think Wiseman can shoot. I think Wiseman is getting, his stock has gone down. I think anybody who gets injured, their stock automatically goes down. Like, people were throwing Kelly Oubre under the bus. As I recall, he was playing pretty well before he got injured last season. Now, yeah, he left for Charlotte, and as a fan, you don't like that. Okay, I get that. But if you're just evaluating it from like an NBA scout perspective, I thought Oubre played pretty well. Remember he had that 40-point game. I mean, then he got injured, right? So same thing with Wiseman. People forget what he can do. Then he gets injured or misses a few games because of COVID protocols or whatnot. You start missing games in the NBA, people equate that with poor performance. And that's unfortunate. So, yeah, I mean, Wiseman is very talented. So, yes, I would say, of course, he can pick and pop because he's actually very talented. And remember, I thought he was a no-brainer at the number 2 pick. I did a video on that the day of the draft of 2020 because I saw him go 90 feet in the Jordan Brand Classic, and my mouth just dropped to the floor. My jaw dropped. I was like, oh, my goodness. A 7-foot guy can rebound the ball and dribble 94 feet and get an and one on the other end. Granted, it's against high school players, but it is all-star high school players, and it is sort of, NBA, format in terms of freestyling in that game, and just NBA talent there. Granted, 18-year-old NBA talent. But there's a lot of stuff Wiseman can do, and the whole problem last season was there was too much stuff that he could do. So how do you grow that into a bona fide NBA player? You have to start from scratch, and you have to focus on just a few things, which is what they did towards the end of the season and what they're planning to do this season. Steve Kerr said it, whether it was today or yesterday. He said that it's great for Wiseman this year because there's so much less expected of him. And he can kind of, basically that means play like on DeAndre Ayton. Because DeAndre does not have the bag that Wiseman has. But he's very effective because he does those few things very, very well. And that's what Wiseman needs to do, is focus on those few things, do those very well, then show the other stuff in your bag in year 3, 4, 5, which he can already do. So he'll be way ahead of like DeAndre Ayton. Like James Wiseman's ceiling is way, way higher than DeAndre Ayton. No disrespect to Ayton. All right. So yeah, we need a center. I don't think so. I mean, we'll get Wiseman anyways, but until Wiseman gets back, I think the idea is just go small. And the Warriors were able to do that in the play-in games last season. And man, that roster was thin too. Only 8 guys. I don't really do predictions on the Lakers and Warriors because anything can happen. Literally anything can happen. And I'm not a bettor, so I'll just stay away from the predictions because I always get them wrong. Do you think they start Wiseman and Kuminga in the G League? Ooh. I mean, sure, why not? That makes sense. Yeah. It would make sense to have Wiseman and Kuminga go to the G League and Moody because I just don't think they will get a lot of minutes, although Moody played great tonight, so maybe, and you never know with injuries. But yeah, Kuminga and Wiseman in the G League, sure. That sounds like the smart thing to do. Any takeaways from today's game? Yeah, Moody played great. There was some beat writers that were saying, well, Moody played so great that, maybe they don't need a 15th guy. So they kind of connected those dots. I don't know. I think they needed one of those guys to knock their socks off, especially if they got one eye on Axell Tupan this whole time. I wrote this on our website just now. I would love to see the timeline of Axell Tupan, like when did he get let go of the Bucks, and kind of line that up with the Warriors. Because like if you have one eye on this guy, Axell Tupan, who potentially could be a long-term wing in the NBA, he was a beast for the Santa Cruz Warriors. Avery Bradley or GP2 would have had to knock my socks off, not only to sign one of those two guys, but also not sign Tupan, but they signed him anyway. I mean, I hope you get what I'm saying. Is just nobody wowed them, and Tupan, I really like him. So I figure somehow he's got to factor into this. Okay. Okay, what team are you scared of the most this season? Honestly, it's probably the Lakers. They're just so talented on paper. But of course, we could poke holes in them all day long with how old they are, no bench, and yada, yada, yada. If Rebecca were on this live, she would say, oh, and LeBron whines too much. So anyways, do I think Kuminga is hot? I mean, from a basketball perspective, I love the fact that he fell to us because, I don't know, is Chris Head still on this live? Because Chris, you would know, you play semi-pro ball, professional ball, physical specimens like JK do not come along that often. And that's, I think, one thing that very few fans understand because they don't spend all their time in a gym like me and Chris Head do. When you spend so much time in a gym like we do, we get a sense of the physical presence of guys. And Kuminga being listed originally at 6'6", and then suddenly he's 6'8" as of the combine. Then you look at some of the tape. Then if you look at him in person, you're like, wow. Like, you just don't see athleticism like this very often. And that's just not something fans can really grasp all the time. But I get it. Like, everybody wanted to draft for need. Sometimes you just got to draft for freakish athleticism, okay? And I think that's mainly what the draft is for. Oh my gosh, we just gotta, oh my gosh, I just screenshotted David sending me $4.99. Thank you, sir. Wow. Love you, man. Anyways, let's move on. We miss Quinn Cook. I mean, Quinn is just such a wonderful guy. So in that respect, yeah. But the NBA is changing, and I think just being such a wing-dependent NBA, you need wings. I think guys like Quinn Cook, their window may be passing. Just being sort of more the diminutive point guard who is more offensive. It becomes a liability in today's NBA when you have so many wings. Like, let's talk about that real quick. Do you notice that one of the rotations Steve has consists of Andre Iguodala, Otto Porter, Moses Moody, and I think normally Juan Toscano-Anderson. Now tonight he kept Steph in the game because Steph was rolling, and then Bjelica as the 5, and we all know Bjelica is like, you know, a stretch 4-5, meaning he's like a slow wing. I mean, that's a wing-heavy rotation. That's a wing-heavy lineup. Again, it's usually Juan Toscano-Anderson instead of Steph, or even maybe Damian Lee. And don't forget, Damian is 6'5". He is actually a very tall person when you stand next to him. So he's a borderline shooting guard wing. My point being is that guys like Quinn Cook, they don't fit in that equation anymore. So I think that's where we are with Quinn Cook. Bjelica played for the King. He's seen Warriors. Yeah, Bjelica is awesome. I love Belly. Tsunami, I'm originally from the South Bay, Sunnyvale, San Jose. Went to school at Cal Berkeley. Now have resided in San Francisco for a long time. So yeah, I'm basically from the Bay. Harrison Barnes looking good. You know, I worry about Harrison Barnes because he's a wing, but he's not like a wing that goes 94 feet very quickly. And I think the NBA is turning more into wings that go 94 feet very quickly. And I just don't see HB like that anymore. But he's cool. I like HB. As a person, he's great. Boogie Cousins, I don't know. We were talking about not having big fives needed anymore. But I really like Boogie. I don't know that Boogie would want to come here, right? Like, what, he's going to play, you know, once every 7 games or something, or once every 2-3 games. I mean, that may not be something that Boogie wants to do. So maybe Boogie just waits around until one of the big fives in the NBA gets injured, be it, you know, God forbid injuries, but Brook Lopez gets injured, well, then go to the Bucks. That sounds like a really good fit for him, you know, so it depends. But I just don't see I don't see it happening with the Warriors because the Warriors are so wing heavy and small ball. They're just playing small ball. Watching Klay in practice, what percent do you think he is at in his recovery? I don't really know. All I can say is that he should be back by January. And then secondly, he's cleared to play scrimmages. You think that's a viable option on pick and pop? Yeah, we talked about that. Wiseman, yep. Definitely, because Wiseman is super talented. Any news about Jonathan Kuminga? No, except that I think there was a small update. Let me look it up real quick. Give me a minute. Oops, shit, wrong one. Okay, Jonathan Kuminga update. JK is making good progress and will be reevaluated in 1 more week, which means that's not really an update. Okay. When does Kuminga come back? Definitely after 1 week. So another week, which sucks. Let's see. A big bounce back game from Jordan Poole. Yeah, people are forgetting the Lakers don't have Ariza, they don't have Wayne Ellington, Malik Monk, or Kendrick Nunn. So they're pretty injured. And I mean, if you had to put a gun to my head, I would predict the Warriors, obviously. And the reason why is just because of the system that we run. Do you realize how difficult that is to defeat just based on talent? If your team doesn't have the right chemistry, and by the way, Stephen Curry, and by the way, Draymond Green. Moody looks good, man. You know what I love about him? He never complains. Like, he got hammered today on a layup, didn't complain. Just ran back on defense. Like, that guy has no ego. He just plays. He knows his role. He knows he's a rookie. There's nothing to not like about Moody. And the other thing that Steve Kerr keeps saying that I love about Moody is that he's going to be here for a long time. I love that. When Steve says that, it's just like, yeah, we can already see that we're probably gonna pick up his team option, give him a little rookie extension there. He's just on a trajectory that makes a lot of sense. Poole, 6th man of the year? No. Poole, JP's the starting 2 guard, it looks like. And therefore, JP might be the most improved player. So that's the new hot take of the week. Loon, a beast. Yeah, you know what? Loon is a beast. If you see Looney up close, he's a beast. Now, he's not a super beast like, Steven Adams or Boogie or JV, but he can hold his own. Loon is a 6'10", 6'11", 6'9", right? But Looney is 6'9", but he has the build that he appears to be 6'10". Okay, cool. Well, I've already talked about a lot of these. Klay, Kuminga, Boogie. Gasol, Kuminga, said that already. I am not afraid of the Nets without Kyrie. I really am not. No way. I mean, Kyrie is a game changer. Yeah, watch out for Denver. You know, the thing about Denver was Jeremy Grant left for the Pistons, and that one hurt the Nuggets. David Tapia, bless you. Finally got to your comment. I have no idea how behind I am on the comments. But we have 130 people on here, 53 likes. That's amazing. Thank you. Chioza is okay. Oh, hey Lance from the Philippines, appreciate it. Chioza is okay. You know, I like Chioza's toughness. I like it. And he has a pretty cool step back, actually. But I mean, I don't have a whole lot of expectations for the guy who is the backup to possibly even the backup of Steph. I mean, he's a two-way guy. He'll play in the G League, and he'll probably be the poor man's Kyle Lowry of G League. How about that? I don't know. As far as like ceiling goes. Yeah, he's a little too small. Oh man, Lance, you gotta, man, everybody just, I don't have time to do the mod here. But geez, Lance, you're going crazy in the comments. Let's see here. And then there's Mark Angelo. Man, you guys in the Philippines really like to comment. But I love your enthusiasm. Realistic expectations for Jordan Poole. I like that question. I don't really care about the award stuff, like most improved player. Okay, that's nice. And I think most NBA players are kind of like that. That's more of a media thing. Basketball-wise, just be available for every game. Just be tough like Klay used to be. Like, you know, Klay used to never miss games. So just be tough in that respect, which I think Jordan Poole is. I mean, you look at his build. You look at those legs with the short shorts. I mean, he's got some muscular legs, right? Like, he's solid. Like, low center of gravity is what I mean. Just, I guess, limit those turnovers. Like today, he was trying to dribble too much one time and did a backcourt. Get rid of that crap, right? And just do the read and react stuff. You know, you only have to score like 12, 15 points a game. You don't need to bust out. But in a lot of respects, Jordan Poole is very much like Klay Thompson. You know, I mean, we're talking about Klay being perhaps the best shooting guard of all time, right? We're talking about a Hall of Famer for sure. So to say Jordan Poole is even in the same sentence as that is really putting him up on a pedestal. And yet, what I see is that here's a guy that can play every game, is pretty tough, and can score 12 to 15 a game, and then suddenly go for 30 on any given night. Now, the thing that Steve keeps saying is the issue with JP is his defense. So that's something he's just got to work on. Just the IQ part and the lateral movement. He does not even come close to Klay defensively. Klay has better lateral movement. Klay has always had elite lateral movement, actually. And Klay is like a tree trunk in the post. And I'm just not sure that Jordan Poole has that. And then one other thing is that, and I'm going to do an article on this. I talked with Brandon Payne recently. He is Steph's trainer, as most of you know. And one really cool thing that he said, which was right on point, is that the thing about Jordan Poole offensively is how he is going to handle his slumps. Even Klay struggled with that for a few years back, if you can remember. So for Jordan Poole, it's going to be like, how is your defense and how do you handle shooting slumps? Those are two pretty big things to be concerned about. But at least those are like, you got to be a pretty damn good ball player if we're talking about those being your two major yellow flags. So those are good problems to have. Eric Pascal just never really found his role here, but I think primarily it was just that he got injured. Again, when you get injured and you're not playing games, that really hurts your career, honestly. And it also hurts your reputation, and not just from fans. So, unfortunately, that's what happened to Eric Pascal, and he is now with the Utah Jazz, obviously, which is a nice spot to be in. Don't forget, Bob Myers did him solid by sending him to his buddy Donovan Mitchell. So there's Eric Pascal. Current roster reminisce of 2015 Warriors? No. Why? Because the game has changed. We don't have 4 centers anymore. 2015, it was like Bogut and a whole bunch of other guys, right? Who were 6'10". I'm David Lee. We don't have centers anymore, and it's just a different NBA. Oh, cool. Somebody said, "Hey, Rich, I watch every something or other." Oh, Rohit Jitwan. Thank you. I appreciate that. That's why I love YouTube and hate Twitter. I'm the most hated on Twitter. The most hated Warriors media on Twitter. Funny. But Twitter's all with these negative people. You can see that YouTube automatically hid the comment of somebody saying, Chase Center is on some BS. But they actually said bull, S-H-I-T. They hid that comment from you guys automatically. Can Twitter do that? No. Twitter sucks. You don't need Twitter. All you need is the Let's Go Warriors YouTube channel and subscribe to our website for $5 a month or $50 a year. And you get access to our Discord server, which actually the people on our Discord, they already put all the information that you get on Twitter anyways. So you're going to get that information anyways. Catherine from Japan. Hey, the Warriors are going to have preseason games in Japan next year. Okay. Do you think Klay will come back sooner than December? Nope, I don't. And I would rather him come back in January. Just be safe. We're talking about Klay here. We care about him so much. So whatever's best, and the longer he takes, the better. Did Wiseman really gain strength? I didn't get to see him in person last season, so I can't really tell. The only time I've seen him in person is this year. So I don't really know. It's tough to say. How's JTA? He didn't get a lot of minutes tonight, but that doesn't matter. He'll get plenty of minutes. He was awesome in the play-in games last season, so he is a crucial part of the Kerr system. talked about Axell Tupan already. Do you know why they're removing the floor? They might have a concert tomorrow. Let's see. Hey, all right, from India, cool. I'm gonna fly through some of these because it's now midnight and time for me to go home. Let's see. So thank you, Aaron. There's Aaron Cisneros. I literally met with Aaron in Chase today from up here. Check it out. From up there, that's where Aaron met me, and it was cool to see Aaron again in person. I met him in person for the first time at Vegas Summer League. How's Kuminga shooting in practice? He hasn't been in practice. His knee is injured for now. Again, as I said earlier, another week minimum. Shannon already talked about that both on the Instagram live. Hate to send you over to Instagram instead of YouTube, but maybe after this you could just go to the Instagram because it's easier to find. But I did talk about that first on this YouTube live, so it should be easy to find. Why don't you upload post-game videos, post-game interviews quickly? That's actually a good question because you guys wouldn't know. It's because I don't have access to the interviews anymore. There's different tiers of, just due to COVID, they can only have so many people in the room, so they're gonna have TV and they're gonna have newspaper reporters. I'm not one of those, so I have to do it from Zoom, but that means if I go to Zoom, I can't just record the Zoom and post that. I'm not allowed to do that because that's what the Warriors are doing already. However, if I was there sitting down, which I am during practice and morning shoot-arounds, usually, I can sit there and record with my phone the same thing, but it's not the exact same as the Zoom, right? I was there. I physically put my own effort into recording it so I can post that whole thing. However, I'm not allowed there pre-game or post-game, so I can't physically be there and record it, and that's why. But I was thinking of putting all the Zooms on like a secret channel. Not secret, but you'd have to subscribe. You really would have to because it's not supposed to be public. So it would be a private area. And then we're talking about a subscription to our website, which is $5 a month or $50 a year. So I'm thinking about doing that, and I think that'll happen. But then you'll have to pay up. So it would still be up way faster than the Warriors post their whole videos. So I can guarantee you that. In fact, it is actually on our YouTube channel. It's just unlisted because I'm not allowed to make it public. But I do have all the post-game Zooms already on there. It's just that I can't make it public. I literally can't. So it's going to be private, and by definition, it'll have to be subscription-based. Okay. JTA, besides the shooting, is really good. You know what? I see Juan in workouts. Bro, he is swishing those threes lots of times. I have really high hopes for Juan. In fact, I think he's a better shooter than Andre Iguodala. I'll just say that. And, you guys have the full confidence in Andre on his threes. Pretty soon, you'll have the full confidence in Juan. Because, like I said, I feel like he shoots better than Andre. But I think most of you think Andre isn't the best shooter in the world anyways. But still, I mean, Juan's shot looks really good in workouts. Sorry, Aaron, I can't do the prediction thing. I just can't. It's such a long season. like I said, anytime I predict something, I'm always wrong. So I just like to, just like Steph, like we don't worry about records and stuff. We just take every game moment by moment. Like Steph isn't gonna go circle a date on a calendar to break Reggie Miller's record. He's just gonna take each game at a time and just enjoy every moment until the day he may or may not break the record, right? So that's how I look at it. And so that doesn't really involve predictions. So anyway, larger group of Oakland Green Party members. Ooh, okay, cool. When will Wiseman start scrimmaging? Man, I don't know. I haven't really done the research on Wiseman, but let's check the latest and greatest. Looking at Rusty Simmons, my buddy who writes for the Chronicle. He got texted the updates on Kuminga, Wiseman, and Klay today. I think it was those three. And what did he say? He said, I'm sorry, I'm far too low on his timeline. Wiseman was cleared to increase individual on-court workouts. He will likely need 4 to 6 weeks of conditioning once his recovery advances to full contact practices. He will be evaluated again November 1st. So add 4 to 6 weeks on top of November 1st. So we're looking at mid-December for Wiseman. Yeah, 5-0 preseason. I found I actually did a prediction, I guess. I was kind of joking. I found where I wrote that. It was on our Discord server. Maybe I'll post that on Instagram. But I actually never wrote that in an article. And so it turns out that I actually did not predict anything, at least not seriously. And when I said 5-0, if you look on the Discord, it was just kind of in joking with Isaiah Thomas and Avery Bradley looking like they were joining the team at the time, both joining the team. It turned out it was only Avery Bradley. I mean, I just felt that this would be one of the best preseasons ever, which it turned out to be, just because the squad is so deep. Like Otto Porter is like, bona fide NBA player we have seen, and he's like 10th guy on the depth chart, kind of, if you just write them all out. Let's see. Okay. I'm gonna end it now. Appreciate y'all. I'm getting really tired. So it's I went an hour. It's literally 59 minutes right now. So 12:08. So thank you. Tell all your Warriors friends about this channel. And we'll just take it one day at a time. I want to do some more things, but I'm too tired to talk about it right now. So thank you, and we'll see you soon. And I'll go live from LA, all right? Take care, guys. I can't wait to go live from LA. That should be fun.